Okay. Alright. I am back. We are back. Can we get a capture live chat? Christ. We are back. Everybody's slowly trying to figure out what the fuck is going on because they have noticed what's being said from first player Carl is not from me. So that's fun. Fucking Christ almighty. On the YouTube side, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to private it because that was his dangle. What was flowing there in the wind, that was his dingle dangle. I have to take it down. I have to take it down off of Twitch, certainly, and off of YouTube, just to be safe. I'm going to take it down from there as well. Because I can't show that. Fun. Cute. Cute and fun. Cute and fun. However, we're going to finish this drama. Because since I'm personally implemented in it, I have to know! I have to know. Now, let me finish working on this and bring it back up on the back ends. Bring this up to just chatting. Bring this up to just chatting. And let's go. People have returned. Integrations. I don't think I've ever used a Nightbot like this inside of my audience. Okay. I might just stop integration for Nightbot. Because it does not look like I can link it across all my chats. Or it only exists for Twitch. That's something for me to figure out later. Okay. Back live. Back live. Okay, we're good. Hello, Leon Ferris. Okay. We were just dealt a heavy swerving blow, chat. We have been served a heavy swerving blow of shit that I'm implicated in because of a person in my server. I've confronted them. They will not give context. Thus, the context has been provided by horror. It is inside this obsidian, and it comes with the knowledge that they were involved in it to the degree that they made the Defense Force chat, and they were in that chat for at least a month. What happened? Why did I bring the stream down? Oh, because I was going through the thing you had showed me, Saf, and I accidentally scrolled too far down on the one that showed that guy's dongle. So I had to take the stream down to make sure that I don't get my accounts banned, and then bring it back up. Notice what you're talking about is the other thing. Oh no, Evan Do Things is implicated inside the Synnibear drama. You didn't do anything wrong. That's on me not checking it like a dumbass and keeping it on the fucking element screen. You didn't do anything wrong. You informed me of who stole my account. I honestly believe it would be better if it was a Kiwi farmer. It would have been better if it was a Kiwi farmer. But instead, it's a fucking male thought. Sin. Disgrace. Anyways, let's continue. We're gonna finish this drama.
Does have legs if for no other reason than the competing ideas and opinions within this group chat. Kumu's involvement in this group chat is actually kind of limited, at least for driving the narrative. Now there is a good reason for this. It's because Kumu pulled Synnibear into direct DMs so he could have those conversations privately. And now we hit point 1 of ACC gay-opping drama. No one trusts any of the other people they're conducting a gay-op with. This is basically exactly what Jar tried to do. And because the best things in life come in threes, I was recently informed by Evan that there was another group chat called the Pegasus Girls where...
Really? There was another group chat.
A member of this chat who has been redacted, and Romantic Goblin herself, also pulled Synny into a separate group conversation. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, who the hell is this Romantic Goblin chick?
Okay, Goblin's been in Senate for almost the entire...
This fucking Ugandan knuckles. The Ugandan knuckles at it is funny.
entirety of its existence. Very early on from when it came online to a few months before I archived it, Goblin took part, at least in terms of being an audience member, to the majority of the calls we had there when they weren't on hiatus, because they would disappear for months at a time. Had literally no problem, no issues in that server at all, at least none that they voiced, but only started taking issue when public opinion started turning. That's when Goblin decided, well, now I don't like Senate, now I'm going to talk about them constantly and make it into content. It's very obvious they are inconsistent in their values. Like, they claim to me that they don't care because it's just the internet stuff, but good lord, do they get attached. They actually do care. They just keep lying about it, I guess, to try to get cool points. Goblin is just a very strange person. I don't understand them at all.
I mean, my question is, Goblin seems to be hanging out here now.
Yep, Goblin peeks in the call occasionally here. Okay, that was creepy. Into the call of the case
To be hanging out here now.
Yep, Goblin peeks in the call occasionally here. Okay, that was creepy. into the calls occasionally here, primarily if Kumo hops in, I suppose. But it seems like they just don't care about what they've done recently either. They seem to think that it's a joke. Just a funny thing. Ahaha, that happened.
Goblin is, or in, well, point of fact, was an upcoming creator in the space. She made her name as an archivist during the Lyo convoy drama, but more recently had been streaming pretty regularly and trying to, well, gain some clout and recognition as a content creator in her own right. If Goblin has an archetype that they fit into, they're kind of like the Hidden Heroines, the Crystal Flames, the Himpletons. The kind of people who kind of get the fireside chat of maybe stop talking before you actually annoy somebody. Speaking of, by the way, when I went to reach out to Evan for some kind of comment on this story, his first response to me was a DM telling me
Alright, here we go. Again, Beckett, you really want to play this game, you're going to lose. And I was told some shit about you and what Xylee did. And I don't want to believe it, so I'm going to call you and hash this out, and maybe it was an understanding. Anyways, I'm at work.
I'd lose, and that there was some drama involving me and Xylee. Which, I'm gonna level with you, confused the living fuck out of me. Firstly, I want to talk about this group chat. Secondly, you brought up something that me and Xylee did. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah, no. The reason why is because I wasn't gonna fucking put all my eggs in one basket. The main reason I'm not gonna fucking. This was just me as a friend coming to you, making sure like, hey, I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna double check because it could have been misconstrued.
I mean, as far as
that's what I asked. Is that it could just be a misunderstanding. I mean, so what I'm being told is that you and Xylee were threatening Himpleton to blackball him.
And if you want to look into how this particular subsection works, here is Himpleton relaying a conversation I had on stream with him where he largely agreed with me, painting it as blackballing for some bizarre reason. Also, I'm not entirely sure I'd refer to myself and Xylee Gets Real as a ton of bigger YouTubers. But don't worry, this DM from
you guys are bigger. Doesn't have to be the biggest. But also, let's get that. Romantic Goblin. Yo, Himpleton, are you doing okay? I'm still sick, some blah 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 blah. You don't have to if you don't want to, I'd really appreciate it. Did you see the whole thing with my server? Sorry that happened. What happened? Been offline. I got pressured really hard from bigger YouTubers to let you go from the server, but I like talking to you, and it doesn't change much for me. I basically got told that if I didn't cut it off in that public server-wise, that they were going to go with weird narratives. I ain't going to talk to you at all. We did it very quietly, but that was what happened. Interesting. Gay drama to the intention of hiding and blackballing other people.
bizarre reason. Also, I'm not entirely sure I'd refer to myself and Xylee Gets Real as a ton of bigger YouTubers. But don't worry, this DM from Himpleton is actually relevant, and we will be coming back to the circumstances surrounding it. Around the 21st of the 9th, the group chat starts to get into, shall we say, operational mode, with them posting different people's channels, including Chud Logic himself, and comments such as this one from Kumu, where he is literally offering to rewrite Synni's script. The group itself seems to descend into full-on cope mode, seemingly treating the drama as a vindication of their own grievances as opposed to, the fact that Synni groomed a 14-year-old.
This whole situation, Synnibear was put in this kind of group chat to help, but then it turned over time. Once they realised that Synnibear was fucked, they wanted to fucking jump ship, and so they had to do this kind of performative disavowal leading up to the call.
On the 22nd, we see the first mention of Romantic Goblin talking about a gun and mandatory wait times. And yes, this is the reason that Romantic Goblin recently did a gun safety stream, because she couldn't take being mocked for providing gun safety tips to a paranoid pedophile. Now, having spoken to 3 different people about this incident who have some knowledge of it, as far as I can tell, this was a joke said in a VC, and then Goblin went and asked Vlad if he could sell a gun to somebody who wasn't black. And I'm sort of paraphrasing here. And while Goblin has maintained that this is a joke, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If Vlad had turned around and said, yeah, sure, I've got an armory, what do you want? There is no question in my mind that she would have accepted that offer for the little bit of clout it could have brought her. Perhaps it was this that started spelling trouble in paradise as Nilla left the group around this time. But don't worry, Goblin was on top of it with a solid suggestion of the
Lord have fucking mercy, that's a giant goddamn paragraph. Posting from his account? Oh god. Right, 1 second, I'm doing something important in the back end.
tone Synnibear should be taking in her video. Hey everyone, it's Synni here, and I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff being said about me online lately, so I just want to set the record straight.
Yeah, I can tell y'all right now, the log for the first stream today, I will probably have to do re-uploads and cuts of, simply because it's still tracking things in the back end for the checks, and I have to turn this off from public to unlisted, if not private. If you have a link today, that's the only way you're going to be able to look at it. So, unfortunate, but because I'm not getting my fucking channel struck over my old account getting stolen and shown male wiener.
First of all, let's talk about this whole thing with the 14-year-old. I know people are saying it's some big deal, but like, oh my god, she was talking to someone younger, but honestly, it wasn't that deep. Kids these days are way more mature than people give them credit for, and we were just chatting, nothing weird happened. You'll act like I was some predator or whatever, when really, it was just a normal conversation. People want to blow things out of proportion just because they need someone to hate, and apparently, that someone is me right now. And let me talk about Jack. That dude is straight up lying. I don't even know where he gets half the things he's saying about me. It's like he's just making things up for clout or attention. It's actually sad. He can't even keep his story straight half the time. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Jack's always been two-faced, saying one thing to me and then running off to the internet and saying something else. People need to start questioning his motives, instead of just blindly believing everything that comes out of his mouth. No one can, just him. He's a bipolar bitch. And yeah, some of you want to talk about my friends, the Cumwood clan cult. Like, what's the big deal? Kumu and his crew have been nothing but good to me. People get so hung up on the name or whatever, but honestly, they're just misunderstood. Yeah, they burn crosses for fun and wear white robes, but that's like their thing. It's not hurting anybody. And if you want to be part of something bigger, something real, maybe you should consider joining us. They're a tight-knit group, and honestly, that's more than I can say for most of y'all who'll just stab each other in the back. People want to freak out about how they cut Kumo into their skin to join, but honestly, it's a commitment. You just don't walk into the Cumward clan cult without proving
Cumward clan cult. Cumlord clan cult.
you're serious. And before people lose their minds over that, think about how many of you get tattoos for way less meaningful reasons. At least this has purpose. So yeah, if you're tired of all the fake friends and liars, like me and everyone else, why not come check us out? I mean, I did, and I'm finally surrounded by people who have my back. So, if you're tired of the fakes, of the judgment, come join me in the Cumward clan cult. We're building something that actually matters. You know what? I've been thinking about all the hate I've been getting lately, and honestly, it reminds me of how some of the most influential people in history were treated. Like, take Hitler for example. I know people are going to freak out because I even mentioned him, but hear me out. He had ideas that a lot of people didn't agree with, and yeah, things got intense, but at the core, he was condemned for thinking differently. He wanted change, he had a vision, and just like that, everyone decided to paint him as the villain, because it didn't align with what they wanted to hear. Now, I'm not saying I'm out here trying to take over the world or anything like that, but I'm being condemned for my ideas, just like he was. People don't want to hear what I have to say because it doesn't fit their little perfect narrative. If you're not a cookie-cutter version of what they want to cancel you, tear you down, and act like you're the problem. But that's how it is, right? The truth makes people uncomfortable. They see me speaking out, they see me associating with groups like the Cumward clan cult, and they can't handle it. So they come after me, just like how people came after those who wanted to change the status quo. It's always the ones with big ideas, the ones who challenge the system, who get dragged through the mud. Look,
it just keeps going and going and going and going and going.
I know people are going to try to twist what I'm saying here, but I don't care. I'm not here to play nice anymore. I'm done apologizing for being me, for aligning with people who actually support me. If that makes you mad, if that makes you uncomfortable, then maybe you should ask yourself why you're so quick to silence somebody with a different perspective. At the end of the day, history repeats itself, and the ones who are judged harshly now are often the ones remembered later. So yeah, keep talking, keep trying to cancel me. Just know that you're not the first, and you definitely won't be the last, to come after somebody with a voice. I'll keep standing by my beliefs, and I'm not afraid to be hated for it. Honestly, inspiring. I find myself close to tears. And as funny as messages like this one are, the group chat highlights that the narrative spun to people that Synni was being condemned, that people understood that what she'd done was wrong within it, is just not accurate. In Goblin's notes for the slug shit, she highlights that Synni apparently didn't know that the 14-year-old had been groomed previously, and also that the 14-year-old lies about being pressured to keep in contact with Synni. Whichever way you paint this group was trying to discredit a 14-year-old grooming victim. So comments like this one from Evan saying, "I just want to gay ops them so bad."
See, this is what I get for giving people the benefit of the fucking doubt. Honestly, if she exported this and I were to leak it, it'd be so funny. We agreed not to leak or give any hints to the group chat until after Sin's verse video, at least. Okay. Besides, they make themselves look even more bad. I just want to gay ops them so bad. Cow tipping is not allowed. fucking... Alright. Hi, Peon. So, what I just learned is that Evan was involved inside of a Grimmer Defense Force Discord. At least a Discord chat. For Synnibear 03. As I DM'd him about this, the second we find out that it is in fact one in the same, Evan tells me I didn't do anything, I wasn't involved in this, I only know this much, and this much. Horror confirms with me that that is not the case. I had to cut the first side of the broadcast because details that I was revealed about my first account being stolen from me, the fucking porn star that now operates and runs it, was flashing his dick in a fucking tweet. Had to bring the stream down, bring the stream back up, reading through and watching the rest of this video that's covering this drama detail, and discovering that Evan was willing to commit gay ops actions and online-offline harassment to try and cover up what he was involved in. On top of him lying to me, I kicked him out for that alone. I have very low patience for people lying to my face. I even have even lower patience for finding out that they're involved in shit. It's only surprising that a single thing hasn't blown back on me, but it's not even about blowing back. It's the principality of the thing. I asked him a direct question. He said, I don't want to give context, I don't want to talk about it. And then I find out what he said to me was a lie.
Shouldn't come as much of a surprise. And while the narrative that's been spun to me is one of disengagement...
You wanna know why I fucking said the shit I said? It's because I was fucking trolling some of the people who were acting like they knew about any of this shit. You know what I had to deal with daily? I had to listen to the entire fucking thing get talked about over and over again. You know the definition of insanity? I had to live through it for almost an entire month.
Comments like this from Evan, the reason why people are now starting to change their tune is because of how Kumu and Goblin and me have been questioning and prodding stuff, speak of a much closer involvement in this story and much more investment in it, or at least the kudos it could bring the members of this little cabal. It's around this time also we begin to see messages from someone noted as redacted. Now, I don't know who this is, no one will tell me, that's fine, but let's talk about the hangers-on, the chatters, the additional people in ACC dramas who sort of flutter around the edges. In this case, we have another nice trinity, and that is Nilla, this redacted, and Ren. Now, I haven't focused in on any of these people, and I'm not really planning to here. The fact that redacted gets to be redacted seems a little unfair to me. My understanding is that Ren has already been well run off in the Fallout. But allow me to make a prediction. Much like Goblin herself, the random chatters of today, the random members of places like Senate in the past, are the gay-opping wannabe content creators of the future. So don't be surprised if one of, if not all three, come out in a future drama where they think they can get a stab in at somebody they hate. After this video, it might even be me. But anyway, back to the ops as we can see Goblin walk Cinny through, getting Jack's Discord ID so they can hack their account. On the 4th of the 10th, Kumu would actually leave the group, citing a message that was pointed out to him between Cinny and the 14-year-old, though this doesn't seem to sway other members who hang on. Now, the remainder of this group chat is largely Redacted and Goblin trying to steer this increasingly unstable individual in the direction they want them. But other than some notes about the Chud stream going terribly and the fact that Queeman apparently called her a pedo, which is fantastic. And no surprise, this group did not like Queeman very much, it seems.
It doesn't help Queeman labeling her as a pedophile. Why is Chud talking about looks when he's British and fat? Almost who is Queeman? Someone we don't want involved in this. If Queeman doesn't face reveal, he shouldn't be talking about someone else's looks. Queeman streams with face cam occasionally. Dude looks like a starving Jew. God, you don't have to convince me to remove him. I've already done it myself! It all comes back to the God Uncle. It all comes back down the stream across my desk. If you, chat, do something crazy out in the world, you best not come across my desk. You come across my desk, and I'm gonna have to handle you. So says Carl, the God Uncle.
The rest of the chat pretty much dies off around this time, as we get closer and closer to the implosion level. But finally, I want to talk about why I'm talking about this, aside from the fact that it's a pretty good example
Also,
of how these things work.
I should be copying that down. The wheel of content spins eternal, chat. You either are revealing it, or you're on it. You best stop believing in cringe, Carl, because they're becoming it.
Implosion level. But finally, I want to talk about why I'm talking about this, aside from the fact that it's a pretty good example of how these things work. It's because Goblin couldn't shut the fuck up. In the earlier interview you saw with Lio Convoy, he mentions that Goblin is just hanging out in Guac Barrel now. Now, to most of you, that won't mean anything. But essentially, what Goblin is currently doing is, having been kicked from everyone else's servers, she's now hanging out in the Old Guard Senate server with people like Lio. And this hasn't been some gradual change over time, it's just that they're the only people who let her in, as that server is treated as a neutral space. And let's wheel back around to talk about Himpleton for a second. I had a stream a little while ago where it's basically chill out, watch some content, play video games. Trying to get better at making that members content, by the way, it is terrible. But we were reacting to Himpleton's conversation with Slimebeast, and I basically invited Himpleton to come on to just talk about some of the criticisms for him.
really wanting to just kind of take a break to like really reassess what I want out of streaming, and just reorganize myself so that I can kind of have just some space from like the whole, kind of exactly what you're saying, where it's like this, I'm at like a crossroads, you know, and I want to take a couple weeks to literally just like kind of definitively get ready to turn away from I guess Turd Island, whatever the fuck that is, and like become like the fucking, you know, a fucking actual normal streamer who like pulls in content, you know.
What is a normal streamer if not a person who does this, Hamilton? What do you mean? Hamilton, did no one tell you that drama content is forever? We cannot escape it. It is perpetual. It is eternal. It keeps us paid. It keeps our lights on. You cannot turn away from Turd Island, because if you go too far left, you'll hit Coconut Island! There too is a white man who's wiggling his penis in the distance, holding it between two coconuts!
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because listen, for the people who do community streams, if they're happy doing those streams, there's nothing wrong with that. It's your channel, do what you want. But like, I used to do kill streams all the time. I don't do them anymore because the amount of shit that I caught because of those streams, I don't want to deal with it anymore. That's why I don't do my kill streams.
You can also, I mean, you can do both, right?
During that conversation, we pointed out to Himpleton that people like Goblin, and this is not isolated to Goblin, are using his platform as a safe space to chat shit, and that was going to reflect on him and how other people saw him and his channel. I think my exact words were, Goblin is a threat to you by being a liability. Himpleton agrees with this, and it's in reference to the fact that Goblin went on Himpleton's stream to basically take shots at commentary, particularly vague posting in the direction of Chris the Narc. I cannot stress enough that if Goblin had just shut the hell up, I would not be making this video, and people probably wouldn't be talking about the group chat. And that gun safety stream in particular.
Romantic Goblin. Okay, gun advice. If one is suicidal and is unstable, blah 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 blah. Not mean to make takes his advice and blah 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 blah. Yeah, you were speaking real mad wild though. That's the problem with this, Mad Goblin. You were speaking real mad wild. You were speaking real mad wild, man. And by speaking real mad wild, you kind of don't get the ability to say that. Just like Evan does not get the ability if he starts DMing me saying, Carl, let me in, whatever the fuck else. Like, no. This shit has gone far beyond fucking a normal fucking laugh. I can have a laugh. I can kiki as long as I fucking want. But truly, I cannot ha-ha and kiki weakness. They are not me. Why do my fucking dance, god damn it. This is fucking wild. This is beyond fucking wild. This is a scandal. How do you guys think this shit is normal? Because no one's been beating your ass. It's probably basic answer. You can't enter your home if you don't let them in. True. True. They cannot enter my home if I don't let them in. That's why I kicked Evan out. The shit that happens when I turn my head the other way. Because I'm paying attention to something else.
Goblin had just shut the hell up. I would not be making this video, and people probably wouldn't be talking about the group chat. And that gun safety stream in particular is insane, with Goblin actively platforming somebody who is known in the community for spamming Lio Convoy's address in chats. This dude has been banned from everywhere.
Okay, but to be honest, there's a lot of people that fucking spam the chat.
Also, yeah, there's a lot of people named after us. I didn't know for certain it's me. Huh? Well, other than the fact that I actually just confirmed it. Which I'm doing just to flex on you. I mean, what the fuck can you do to me? Seriously, like, bitch about it, cry about it, moan about it.
Trying to
Oh my god,
What are you going to do to me? You can't do anything to me. There's certainly not something that can happen to me if I choose to go out and admit that I'm the kind of person who will reveal people's information and then say, you ain't gonna do nothing. Truly, these people know what it's about.
You spammed us. What?
Yeah, okay, I'm just reading now. I'm pretty sure after I was the guy who spammed people's comments trying to dox Lio. Okay.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Okay, but like, Lio's doxed himself and his dox is out there. I kind of don't give a shit.
But it would be shortly after my conversation with her that Goblin
Lio Convoy doxed himself. I don't care. That doesn't mean you have to re-spread the information out there again. I didn't get him in trouble. All I did was look into shit and he got himself into trouble. But the moment that you decide to take it on your own course to just do the shit that you're doing is when it becomes a deeper issue and a deeper problem. You guys understand that and you know that for a concern. So you guys are just spurgs that deserve what's happening to you now.
would delete her channel, which is becoming a habit for people when I'm covering them. That's Crystal, Scarlet Reaper, and now Goblin. Please stop, I'm trying to make content out of you, please stop deleting your shit. As a final thought, Vlad was also in this group chat, and he provides us our fourth category of ACC gay ops, the people who are dragged in who really, desperately don't give a shit. His posts are minimal and are incredibly unsympathetic. But that's all I've got for you on this. More videos and projects coming up, and a big thank you to our molding members Ellington Moose, Sony Locks, and...
Okay. What have we learned, Carl? We've learned that when I give people chances, Don't! Don't give people chances, Carl. What else did we learn, chat? We learned that sometimes it's best if you don't get involved. Say it with me. Don't get involved. Don't get involved with potential or literal pedophiles, accusers, or diddlers. You get involved with diddlers, and you're in my audience, and I find out, and I question you, and you lie to me. I'm in your ass. I'm in your ass. Alright. Okay. That ends the news segment. I need to eat something now. I will be back in 5 minutes. Don't bust that nut yet. I'm not done. I'm not done. Fucking Christ almighty. I didn't have this shit planned. This was not planned out, okay? This is real. This is real life.